Welcome back to Pride in Florida, a Project Community Special. In the last few months, many families told us the actions of lawmakers and the rhetoric surrounding their debates have them reevaluating if Florida is where they want to raise children, build careers, and grow old. I recently met several Central Floridians of all ages who say they no longer feel welcomed in the Sunshine State. Theme parks with dad, matching dresses with mom, stunning for the school dance, off for a swim. Family photos reflect Jenny Johnson Chunka's typical teenage life.
She gets all A's and B's. She was asked to be a mentor for students with disabilities. She works at Publix. She volunteers at the zoo.
But Jenny's mom says there is nothing normal about what her daughter has endured in recent months.
She wore a pride hat one time in public in downtown Melbourne, Florida, and was verbally harassed by a man on the street. And so she doesn't feel comfortable wearing anything like that down here now.
Jenny was born a boy and says she knew at around 8 years old something wasn't right. What is it that made you start thinking, like, I don't think I'm a boy?
I liked wearing dresses. I liked, when I was little, playing with makeup. It felt right to me that I should be this person.
The journey to who she is now wasn't easy. Jenny was put up for adoption and navigated the foster care system until she landed in the arms of Wendy Johnson and her husband Pete. They knew when they adopted her, she came with needs for gender-affirming care.
When she went into the foster care system, her parents at the time had removed the medication, and the state of Florida deemed it in her best interest at that time to put her back on hormone therapy. So she came to us on hormone therapy, and that was directed by the state of Florida at that time.
Fast forward to 2023, and ironically, the state passed a bill denying parents the right to offer their children the medical care and guidance they need to be the gender they identify with. A federal judge recently overturned Florida's ban on the use of Medicaid for these treatments, and legal challenges continue.
This is my spironolactone, which actually helps me prevent hair.
Because Jenny is now over 18, she hasn't seen a disruption in her medication. But another law passed recently is causing the family so much stress, they've decided to leave the state. They just couldn't imagine their daughter being forced by law to use the men's room.
The decision ultimately came with the bathroom bill. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. And when we were reading through that, and Jenny was with us, and we were talking about it as a family, and she just broke down in tears. And, I looked to my husband, and it's just not worth it.
So the family is packing up the dream home they built in Melbourne Beach and returning to Syracuse, New York, where they're originally from and where they feel Jenny will be better supported.
I still have trouble wrapping my brain around the fact that this is 2023 and we are essentially fleeing our home for her to have the right to live as she is. It's sad. It's crazy.
And it's the reality for many more families. Clark University professor Abby Goldberg conducted studies with LGBTQ families 3 and 6 months after the Parental Rights in Education law was passed. Referred to as the Don't Say Gay law, it prohibits public schools from having classroom discussion or instruction about sexual orientation or gender identity in all grades.
I found that almost 90% of these parents expressed pretty significant concerns about their children and what their children's experiences would be in school. I also found that 2/3 of these parents actually were considering moving.
Clark's research of just over 100 families also shed some light on who they are.
On average, folks had been living in Florida for 25 years, so these were very sort of long-term residents. About a quarter of the sample reported that their children had expressed fear or anxiety or avoidance of school.
If that's the trend going forward,
do y'all need any items, extra stickers, coloring stuff?
Consider this event a move to counter it. Organized by the nonprofit Peer Support Space, this group came together to create care packages.
These are going to transgender community members, both youth and adults, whenever we have a pride event or a rally or whatever it is.
The hope that each small package sends a big message.
I think people are hearing about what's happening in Florida and they want to do something about it. So people have found our event through Facebook, Eventbrite, just online, and they've been mailing bracelets and squishmallows and letters from all over the U.S.
Here we found 2 trans women feeling the love and stepping up to help, each with their own journey. Shay Cutliff, who credits her mother for giving her freedom.
Her biggest concern was just letting me be myself. And I would say that was about like 5. It's 5, and that was in a small town in Georgia. No queer people around me, no people who were openly trans or gay in my family. So my mom, she was just like, whatever happens, happens. I'm just gonna support and love my child.
Now Shay lives in fear for her community.
I remember in the early 2000s knowing people who actually died because they just needed a lab appointment to make sure that they weren't getting blood clots. And we're taking things as simple as that away from people.
Her concern over the future of care has her considering a move from Florida.
I am a homeowner. I love my job. I've been at my job for a while. And I even love my area, even though it's a very conservative one. I live in Lake County, which is very conservative. And yeah, I've thought about selling my home, packing up my entire life and going to a place where I don't know anybody, just so I can exist and be myself. We shouldn't be thinking about that in America, immigrating and migrating states based on laws.
Jessica Dawson says for her, there's no question about her future.
I've lived in Orlando all of my life. I went to the University of Florida where I studied real estate and urban analysis.
Jessica Dawson did college and most of her life as a man before transitioning just 5 years ago.
My parents were very conservative. At the age of 5, I knew I had to keep my mouth shut to go into basically hiding for most of my life.
Now she says she's focusing on her business and rising above hateful rhetoric.
This is only temporary in my mind, so that's the reason why it doesn't bother me. I love my city. And I'm not leaving. I'm not going anywhere.
Staying or going, both women know they are an example for the next generation.
I really want the community to know that it's going to be all right. And 5 years from now, when we're looking back, we will all look at this point in time and go, wow, that was some crazy stuff.
Trans people are just like you. Trans people just want to love, live, and exist. The trans community is a viable community. We are a small portion of society, but we're being attacked the most. We deserve to be here just like anyone else. We deserve to have our lives upheld just as anyone else, and we deserve to be happy and free just like anyone else.